Hi again, everyone. It's been a while since I posted a video, and so since I've had a lot of questions about that fixture that I use for my bracelets, I thought I would show it to you. The base of it is made out of 1x8, and you can see a 1x8 is actually about 7 inches wide, and then I cut it to 18 inches long. I think I bought a 3-foot long piece of 1x8, and then I cut it down to length. Then I also bought some 1x2s, and you can see 1x2s are actually about 1.5 inches wide, and then they are about, say 3/4 inch tall, somewhere in that neighborhood. So dimensional lumber isn't really the exact dimensions that they tell you that it is. But the next thing that I did was I put the 1x2s and I glued and screwed them down along the sides so that they act as rails to keep this centerpiece in. And this centerpiece I use to adjust the length of the bracelet. I can slide it up and I can slide it down, if you see. To hold that in place, I bought a 3-inch carriage bolt and a wing nut. The wing nut, and then I got it, this is called a fender washer if you're looking for it. And then you can see I cut a slot in the bottom of the 1x8, and that slot allows the adjustable piece to move up and down, and then when I get it to the point where I want to, I just simply lock it down. What I really should have used for this is the proper tool. The way that I got this done was I drilled the holes and I kind of used the drill to push sideways on it. So it's not the cleanest job, but it does work. Then what I did was I took a 1x2 here, that's this piece, and I cut it to a length of about 6.5 inches, and then I took a piece of the 1x8 and I cut a square that was roughly 3.5 by 3.5. And then I took a smaller piece here and I cut that one to about 2.25 inches. Just made this piece that slides up and down. You can see here I've got the different size buckles that I use. Here's a 3/8 buckle and here's a 5/8 buckle. So when I have the piece that's adjustable and I slide it up and down, if you look close here, you can see that I have some lengths here. And where this length is, this length indicates how long the bracelet's going to be. So if I am using the 3/8 buckle and I have the sliding piece here, that will make a 7.5 inch long bracelet. If I have it down here, that will make an 8.5 inch bracelet. For the 5/8, which is the buckle that I have here, the measurements were slightly different, and so this gives me an 8-inch bracelet with a 5/8 buckle, this gives me a 7-inch, and this gives me a 6-inch. If you notice, I also put down here how much cordage I'm using. A 9.5 inch bracelet is normally going to be 9 feet of cord if I'm only using a 1-pass bracelet. A 9-inch bracelet, if I'm doing a 2-pass bracelet, I use 16 feet. So it gives you a rough idea of how much cordage I'm using. Then, up here on the other end, these white little buckles, not really buckles, they're conduit holders. They're electrical conduit or electrical wire holders. I just bought them at Menards or Home Depot or one of those. I put the other end, or the female end of the buckle, here's the 3/8 buckle, and here's the 5/8 buckle, and then I cut 2 more pieces out of my original 1x8 stock. This one is 3.5 inches wide, and it is about 2 inches long, and I've got 2 pieces stacked on top of each other, so that way I've got enough room when I'm making a bracelet. And I'll show you here a finished bracelet, so that I've got enough room that I can work, and the bracelet is up high enough over the top of these rails that I can get my hands in here underneath it. So that's how I made my fixture. The one other thing that I have on here is from the end of the fixture here to this heavy dark line right here is approximately 1 foot, give or take. And so when I'm measuring out my cordage that I'm going to use for the bracelet, I just take however many feet of cordage that I need and I measure it along the jig. That way I don't need to have a fixture or a ruler or anything else. So it's fairly basic, but it works well for me. The whole thing, grand total, with all of the lumber and the screws and the brackets and all that other stuff, probably cost me less than $10. But it's a great, easy way to make bracelets. So that's all I had for this morning. I'll be putting up a couple more videos later on today, but that is my paracord bracelet fixture in as much detail I can give as I give you on a video. And as always, thank you for watching my videos. I hope you learned something today. And hey, take your kids camping.